Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all tuned into a really great stream here. But yeah, right now Deltaforce Fawn right now going to be a very interesting set. More than just the seating and just like stuff like that, but just more so with the characters here. I know people are already dreading. Some people already clicking away, but
No, I
trust
believe.
me, this is a banger.
These are both two amazing players that have shown that they're not just going to be tossing projectiles at each other, and that they know when and where that they want to go in and put all this tremendous player, as Fawn was doing right then and there. Amazing job.
Already playing some really interesting neutral right here. Seeing Deltaforce actually take the aggressive now for a pretty rare opportunity here. But still just sort of playing neutral amazing here. Using Link's strangely good boxing tools there with that Nair there, but also just playing just some pretty phenomenal neutral here. But Fawn also just sort of locking down Deltaforce. So I'm sort of trying to play the game a little bit too much with those projectiles. Seeing a whole lot of use of can on shield right there to just sort of stop any sort of shield pressure from going on there, but not going to be able to stop that fair.
Absolutely. A little too much pressure with just how amazing of a hit the Link multi-hit fair is. So sadly, that is going to go in Deltaforce's favor. But Fawn showing that they're not afraid. They're willing to, once again, go in and be scrappy.
Yeah, you kind of do have to scrap at a matchup like this. I mean, it seems weird. You would expect two zoners to fight, like, or at least a double zoner matchup to fight a lot less aggressive. But, I mean, one of them has to get a hit in eventually. It's not like they can do damage to each other from across the screen at all times. You have to at least try to push in a little bit more.
And honestly, this might be viewer bias, but I personally feel like every time it's a zoner versus zoner matchup, they're going to be brawling. They're going to be going right in on each other, knowing full and well, okay, but you also have zoning tools, so what's the point? So we're just going to go in and start hitting each other, and that's why I love zoner versus zoner matchups. However, it is still absolutely in Deltaforce's favor, because even though they did just lose the stock, they still have a 94% lead here on Fawn. So let's see if they're able to keep it moving.
I mean, Fawn does have some amazing survivability, but gonna be difficult to try to make it back against a player like Deltaforce, and right there, going in, catching that high recovery with that up B. Right now, last stock situation. Fawn playing at a pretty big disadvantage here, but still might be able to find a way to clean something back here with a pretty good edge guard or some gimp of some kind. It's going to be kind of difficult, though, because Duck Hunt is not the character to get early kills. We could see Link surviving upwards of like 160, 180%.
And we were seeing...
Oh, you good?
Yeah, apologies there. And we saw that survivability and that little bit of a weakness there for Fawn earlier in their earlier matches. So that's just going to be something that Fawn is going to have to go in and overcome.
Yeah,
however, I did want to also compliment Fawn earlier, where there was a point where they were the one playing with Deltaforce's bomb. Oh, but the downer is going to take that stock. Amazing job there for Deltaforce. Now let's see if we could keep that moving and take the stock for game one here.
Yeah, 90% may not seem like an early stock in the traditional sense, but for Duck Hunt, that might as well be a kill at 0.
Exactly. Ooh, however, Link showing that they have some better ammunition here and getting a lot of percent and a lot of stage control there from Fawn with the bomb.
It makes a pretty good use from that can here to try to stay alive just a bit longer. Sweet Spot Nair going to be cleaning things out, and that's going to be game one going to Deltaforce.
Amazing job there by Deltaforce. Those Nairs were honestly looking a little scary there for a little bit, but they were still able to finally connect and still able to take that stock there.
Yeah, really solid play from both players right here, and also really good work from Fawn, able to bring that to a pretty close last stock situation. I mean, close enough compared to what we saw earlier from Deltaforce. And also, speaking of Deltaforce, making some really good use of offstage edge guarding, something you don't really see Link do too much. That's what... Rob. What? I've seen Fawn pull out a lot of characters. Their not Star-GG, their Smashers app shows that. A lot of Snake, some Ice Climbers, even some, I think I saw K-Roll on there. But Rob is not one of those characters I've seen. I'll say that much.
Rob is a character of all time, is what I'll say here. So I am curious to see where Fawn is going to go with this.
I mean, Rob is arguably a top 5 character, and shock to the system here. Link is not.
Yeah.
Link is not exactly what some people would call not even a high tier, not even a mid tier, not even a good character. So
Link is a character.
He is a character.
Well, be polite and say character.
Does Fawn actually have a Rob? If you could look very closely at the screen, Fawn has hands. So yes, Fawn does have a Rob.
Compared to some belief, sometimes Rob is playable by anyone who with good fundies and ideals.
Ideals, but not morals. You have to keep in mind.
Yes, you have the ideals of winning, but not the morals of how you go about it.
You have to be a sick, twisted individual to play a character like Rob.
Absolutely, and for Fawn to just immediately counter swap to Rob. I
mean, I've actually seen this matchup quite a bit in my home region with another Link Amnesty. Right. I actually don't know how this matchup fares for Link. I'm gonna be honest. It could be surprisingly close to even. I mean, despite the tier disparity, like I mentioned earlier, right. I feel like Link actually does have a bit of a fighting chance here.
I honestly believe so as well, because as you said, this is your first time seeing Fawn play Rob, so there might just be a little. Even though we were just heeing and hawing that Rob is a very fundamentals-based character, there is still a lot of gameplay that you have to consider, and a lot of conversions with the top, with the nairs on shield. So that still could be something that Deltaforce could be using in their favor.
Also, looking at actually, this isn't the first time that I've seen them play Falco. Oh, not Falco. What was I saying? First time I've seen them play Rob. This is the first time they've ever played Rob, because looking at their looking at their strategy stats, they have 0 games recorded with Rob. So I said Falcon because I noticed they actually had a few games reported with him, but Rob.
I was saying Falco is a very different character, a much more respectable Fundies character, if I may say.
would not say that, but
then Rob,
we can have.
We're compared with Rob.
That's fair. You know what? Compared to Rob, that's fair. I have to say though, the Rob isn't bad. There's a semblance of a good Rob here, or you could just die to there at 130. That's okay. You know, we all. It happens. I'll say that
Absolutely.
Much.
I will say I'm very curious as to why we went for the Rob. Maybe Fawn will elaborate a little later on Twitter or something. But so far, I am enjoying the mix-up here, just for the surprise factor of it.
Maybe they've been working on a Rob in secret for a while, like on Wi-Fi. Maybe who knows? Maybe they've been terrorizing Ryuga Cord with a pocket Rob that we just didn't know existed. But
absolutely, they like Rob, they are right into the Rob mainframe of how to play.
But Deltaforce does not seem none the wiser. It's still playing phenomenally as ever.
Absolutely,
and might be able to clean out this game pretty quickly, or just unfortunate SD.
That is a very unfortunate SD. I saw the vision. I definitely saw the vision there, but sadly it just wasn't going to be what was going to cut it there.
There was a vision to see there, you could say.
Yeah, we could see into the future, but it was only like 1 second into the future, so it just didn't do much.
I'm actually so curious. Is this like a matchup Fawn just does? Like, is Dark Hunt Link like a matchup they don't like playing or something? Because it didn't look that bad. I'm gonna be honest.
It didn't. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, okay, but why?
There's something here. I don't know what it is, but apparently Rob wanted to be the counterpick for them.
So it would seem. And while it wasn't the best, it did entertain us.
It was a pretty interesting Rob game.
That will be the first. One of the first times I'm going to say I was entertained by a Rob. Was it because we were just shocked at the first time we're seeing Rob from Fawn? Maybe.